As you can see, we have a lot of eggs right now. We are in the end of July, and both the chickens and the ducks are laying a lot of eggs. So to preserve them, I'm going to freeze some of them. And the first 2 batches I will separate the yolks from the whites so that I can freeze them that way. And then later on in the year, when I don't get so many eggs, I can make my egg white bread very easy like this. I'm always using an extra bowl to crack the eggs into before I put them into the bigger jugs, and that is because of this problem. Sometimes the yolks will break, and if the yolks come into the whites, you cannot whip them up. So I'm cleaning out the bowl and drying it really well, and then I can go on with my task. I find that the eggs from the chickens are easier to work with now that I'm going to separate them, and the duck eggs are easier when I'm just freezing them as whole eggs. And now my jugs are really full, especially this one with the yolks. So I'm taking a bag and putting it on top of the jug and then pouring it in. This way nothing will get on the outside. And before I put it in, I wrote on the bag what it is and the date and the year. So it's easier to know when I put it in the freezer, when I'm finding it in 3 years from now, if I forget about it. On the jugs I can also measure how much there's in there, and the big one where the whites are in, there can be about 1.2 liters, and the whites have all about the same weight as water, so I know that that's about 1.2 kilos, and that is about what I'm using for 2 portions of my egg white bread. So that's why I'm doing this amount, and now I have for 4 portions of my bread with all of these egg whites and yolks. And then next off I will just make some bags with mixed eggs where there's both yolk and whites, and I can use that in recipes or for omelets or something like that. So now I have the 4 bags here, 2 with the whites and 2 with the yolks, and I just put it in this Tupperware box and I will put it in the freezer so it can freeze flat like this. And now I'm just making the mixed eggs, and I'm still breaking them in the little bowl, a few at a time, and that's because if there gets any shell in there or anything other than that, it's easier to take it out instead of in the big jug. And then I'm just using my immersion blender to blend it all up so it's not separated when it's freezing. And I'm trying to weigh it out so that I have approximately 600 grams in each of these bags. And then later on I've also made some smaller bags with only 300 grams. And that's because some recipes you need more and some you need less. So it's a little easier this way. But it's always easier to just make big bags, but I'm not always in the need of 10 eggs. And I'm not just using all of the eggs, I have all of the eggshells here, and I will dry them a little and then I will crush them and use in my garden around the crops that the slugs will eat a lot. And this year it's especially my onions and my beans that they are after. So I'll just crush them and put them around those plants, and then the slugs won't go in them because they're really sharp. Now I have put about 120 eggs in my freezer and I still have 60 left. And I'm also gifting a lot of the eggs away. And here I have all of the mixed eggs, and I will just put the bags in this dish and freeze them like that. And then I can remove them afterwards, so I don't have to have that dish in my freezer all of the time. And this is where I put it in one of my chest freezers, and I also have these eggs from another day. These are from June. And then over in my upright freezer I have put in the other ones, the separated eggs, and beneath that I also have some from earlier. And these are just some pictures of my chilies in my greenhouse. I have some Anaheims and Santa Fe and These are some of my big tomatoes. They're not ripe yet, but they look really good. And some jalapenos and cayenne chilies. And I think these are called spiralos. And our cherries are also giving a lot of fruit this year. And then I have some funny video from Holly again when she was playing with her ball on the field. And Holly has a lot of energy and she loves to play over here, both just with her ball and also when Preben is playing with her. She's 7 months old now, and I think she has the size that she will get. She will be a little bigger, she'll get some more muscles, but I don't think that she will get taller or longer than she is now. But she is also a really large dog for a female. And she had, because of all of that energy, it's not enough just to play with her. I'm doing a lot of tracking with her so she can use the inside of her head. She has to sniff a lot and get a little tired that way as well. And now on to the next project. We have had strawberries for a few years now, but this is the first year that I have really gotten a big harvest of them. And I'm picking them almost every day and putting them into the fridge. And then when I have a lot, I'm cleaning them, and if there's any bad spots, I'm removing that and removing the stems. And then I will freeze them in bags. And then later on, when I have enough, I will make some sugar-free jam out of them. I find it easier that way instead of making smaller batches of jam every week. So this way I can just do it all at once. And of course we're also eating a lot of them fresh because they are really sweet and sun-ripened. And this is just how I freeze them. If you want to use them for smoothies or something like that, you can just freeze them in smaller bags as well. And then we had a little heat wave in Denmark. Usually we don't get this hot of weather, but we had about 35 degrees, so that was really hot both for us and for Holly. And then we had our bonfire in the evening and made some more s'mores. And of course Holly wanted to taste the marshmallows, so that's the first time for her tasting these, and I think it's a little funny for her to chew on them because they're so soft and sticky, but she got it down. funny. It's really adorable. She cannot have the chocolate, but she can definitely have one of the crackers, and she also enjoyed that one. And of course she also had to go for a swim in her big tub here. Because of the heat, she's really enjoying it, and she's splashing herself with all of the cold water. So that's always so funny to watch when she does it. And I think that the water is in the tub for about 5 minutes or so. Then she has watered all alone. And this is all for this time, so thank you for watching, and remember you can always go and follow us on Instagram, and please subscribe to our channel. Bye bye.